baby out, push your baby out. So I gathered enough strength again. I pushed. As I was pushing, my dear, baby was not forthcoming. So as a woman who has had 2 children, the third one was not something new. You understand? I know all my routines, drugs, go to antenatal, urine tests, everything I needed to know. I always attend their classes, so I was very good with everything. I understood everything perfectly. So I went to the hospital this fateful day, and after my antenatal, they told me I had to I had to wait behind. After everything, they took me to the consultant. The consultant told me I was already past my delivery date. I was already past my period. I was due. So they said I have to come so that they can induce me. Okay, now normally inducing is a process that's fasting contraction for labor so that you can deliver normally. So I told them, I said that's not a problem. What time do they want me to come? They said I should come in by 7:30 in the night. So I said okay, that was fine because I've been induced before. My second child I was induced and it went smoothly, so I didn't even think of anything. So I told them, I said no problem. So that period was when we were having this program 5 Nights of Glory, Salvation Ministries program. So I went for the program by 4:30. I went with my children. This car is so hot. So I went with my children, and we were having the program, everything. My husband was there. So my husband asked me if he should go to the hospital with me, but I insisted no, because we did not have any house help at that time. We already discussed it and decided as a couple that we don't want house girls. That was because we have watched videos of how house girls treat children. You know, someone will go to the office, come back, house girl do this, house girl do that, and it was very, very common at that time. This thing I'm telling you guys about, let's say 2018 or 2017. Yes, 2017 or thereabout. So yes, 2017. So we said okay, we're not going to have house girl, and we've been managing. I was working from home, I was teaching. When I go to teach, I go with my children, so they also attend the same school. So I told my husband not to bother going with me, because if he decides to go with me, so I told him not to go with me, because if he goes with me, it will be another stress. We don't have anybody at home. How are we going to handle the children? And then going to let people know that your wife is in the hospital for delivery is something we didn't want to do. So I told him, I said, don't worry, I've gone there before, so it's not a big deal. So I took the cab, went to the hospital. I got to the hospital by, let's say, 7 p.m. So at this time I was checked in, and then they checked all my vitals, took my bag, took me to the room and everything. So everything went smoothly. So after the whole thing, I was induced the first dose. The first dose is like I don't know, like a small tablet, so they would insert it into your area. So I took the first dose. Nothing was really happening. So the second, I talked to my husband, he asked me how far, what was going on, all of that. Let me cut the long story short. So the second dose, I started having some contractions. So as I was having these contractions, my husband called me about 12 in the midnight, and I told him, I said I was fine. I said I'm fine, I'm just having some contractions, but I know I'm okay. So he said, okay, all of the nurses, should I start coming? I said no, I'm not giving birth now. Why are you coming? So I just told him to relax and take care of the children, so which he did. I immediately ended the call, not up to 30 minutes. No, let me not say, okay, let me say 30 minutes. 30 minutes after I ended the call, the contraction became very serious. So the baby was coming out. I could no longer bear the pain. So I called out for the nurses. So when I called out for the nurse, she was like, you've already got dilated so much like this. You tried, yeah, come, let's go. You know, when you go to the hospital to deliver, the room they put you in first is different from the inner room. There is an inner room where they have all their equipment, and when you are ready to give birth, that's where you go and deliver. Unless the delivery holds you seriously on this side before they will attend to you here. Normally they don't. They will take you inside. That's the inner room. So they told me, well, let's go to the inner room, let's go. So they carried my delivery bag, which had already been separated. So they carried my delivery bag and my my delivery bag and myself. I pulled up my clothes. So they took me into the inner room. So immediately I lay down on the bed in the inner room. I was already like wanting to push. So immediately my water broke. So when the water broke, I was now like, I want to push. Say push. I was pushing. I pushed and pushed. This baby was not coming out. At this point, I became worried, because in my previous experience, my previous deliveries, my first child, I did not even take time. I just pushed like 3 times and baby was out. Second child, so I was already getting worried, like, this one I pushed for more than 30 minutes, the baby is not coming. And don't forget, water had already broken. So I was struggling. I told them, I said, please, what's happening? The woman said, don't push, stop talking, you talk too much. God, nurses really, a lot of nurses need deliverance, I swear to God. So she was like, push now, the time you are using to talk, you use it to push your baby out. All this one you are talking now is not necessary, push your baby out. So I gathered enough strength again. I pushed. As I was pushing, my dear, baby was not forthcoming. Baby